data management and analytics. The first tools that you need to get yourself familiarized with happen to be what? Data import wizard. Please let us take note of this. Data import wizard is a tool you can use to import data. It's a Salesforce tool that you can use to import data into Salesforce platform. By the time you go to the setup, you type in data import wizard, there it's going to come up. Then you can follow all the prompts, and at the end of the day, you'll be able to import CSV file into the Salesforce platform. One thing that you must note while using data import wizard to import data into Salesforce platform, it has a limitation, and the first limitation is that it cannot import more than 50,000 records at a time. Take note of that. That's another question that can come in the exam, that you are trying to load the data or import a lead into your Salesforce platform, and that lead record is more than 50,000. What can you use to import the record? You can't use data import wizard, since what you want to import is more than 50,000. What you can now use will be data loader, because you cannot use data import wizard to import more than 50,000 record. The good thing about data import wizard is that it provides a simple interface to specify the configuration parameter, data source, the field mapping. You're going to map the field. The field mapping simply means that you already have some field on your Salesforce platform, and the record you are importing must match with the field that you have in Salesforce platform. If it doesn't match, you must ensure that you match it before you import it. When you are importing, you'll be asking you, these are not matched. This is not able to map this, to write it in red color. Then you observe it, okay, you now map it with an existing field you have on the Salesforce platform. The field name that you want to import, the file names, and all the rest. Now, and apart from that, it cannot import some standard objects like opportunity. You can't use data import wizard to import opportunity. Even if the record you want to import, the opportunity record you want to import, if it is less than 50,000, still you cannot use data import wizard to import opportunity. But you can use it to import opportunity. You can use it to import record like contact, lead, accounts, campaign, and all those ones. But you can use it to import opportunity. You can use data import wizard to import opportunity, even if the record you want to import is less than 50,000. These are technical questions they can ask in the exam. Data loader is the perfect tool to use when you have record you want to import into Salesforce platform that is more than 50,000, that you cannot use data import wizard. Data import wizard can only import data into Salesforce platform. It cannot export data. You can't use data import wizard to export data. No, it's not done. It's not allowed. It can only import data into Salesforce platform. But data loader is all like a puzzle. It's a client application that Salesforce is using, and you're going to download it on your laptop. The client application data loader is a client application that can import up to 5 million records at a time of any data type. So it doesn't discriminate any data type, be it custom object, be it standard object, it can import anything. Data import wizard too can import both custom and standard object, but it cannot import some standard object like opportunity. It can import it. But data loader can import, can export, can offset, can can it can offset, it can export, it can delete. You can't use data import wizard to delete, but you can use data loader to delete a record. You can also use it to delete all. When you use data loader to observe, simply means you are using it to you are using it to insert. At the same time, you're also using it to update. It's doing two things for you at a time. That's why they use the word offset. Updating, they coined that word up from updating, then sat from inserting. So when you start something, you import something into something. Now you cannot, it can be operated either through the user's interface, the command line, the later case, or you need to specify data sources that fit mapping and other parameter field configuration file. This make it possible to automate the import process. So you can actually automate what what that expression simply means. You can automate when your data loader will kind of carry out importing activities for you. You can import, you can schedule it to a later day. And when you want to do that, there is what they call command line interface. That's when they make use of that in doing that. So I've made this available here in order to further kind of uh, help us to know the the parity, the difference between the data import wizard and data loader. And please let us take note of this aspect, this PowerPoint presentation. While I'm taking it slowly, there are a lot of questions that will come on under data management and all that. But if you get it, you'll be good. Anytime you can always have score 100% on this in this aspect. Difference between data import wizard and data loader are highlighted below. Data import wizard, you have end users and admin. They have access to it, they can use it. But data loader is only admin that can use it. Both end users and admin can use data import wizard in Salesforce platform. They can as well use it to import data into your company. But data loader, only admin has access to it. Any end user does not have access to data loader. Then available from setup menu, you have data loader, data import wizard. You can access it on setup menu, but data loader needs to be downloaded. It's a client application. It's been, somebody is somebody's property. It's not available on Salesforce platform. That is why we go through a process before we download it on your laptop before you can use it. And they integrate it with your Salesforce platform. Import only with limits to 50,000. So you see now, you can only use the data import wizard to import only with limit of 50,000 record. While data loader can import up to 5 million record, can be loaded at once with data loader. Validation rule and triggers with fire when you are using data import wizard. If anything that validation rule is fighting against, will not be able to use it and download that particular aspect of the record. Running workflow rule and processes when record meet the criteria optional. In terms of running workflow rules and processes when the record meet the criteria is optional. That is for data import wizard. Workflow rule, validation rule, and trigger with fire when you are using data loader. Workflow rule, validation rules, and trigger with fire when you are using data loader. While in this thing, workflow rules and processes are optional. Then you have account and person's account, contact, lead, solution, campaign, member, and custom object can be imported. Data import wizard supports importation of account, person's account, contact, lead, solution, campaigns, and custom objects. You can make use of data loader to import it. That means data import wizard can import all those records. Take note: account, person account, contact, lead, solution, campaign member, custom object. You cannot find opportunity there. You can't use data import wizard to import opportunity. Why data loader support all objects, uploading, attachment, anything. It supports so many things. Then data import wizard choose which fields to find possible duplicate. It helps you to guide against duplicates by matching the different field of what you are using, you are importing from CSV file, and what you already have as existing record on Salesforce platform. Let's say you are importing a lead record from CSV file. Data import wizard will synchronize that lead record with existing lead record you have on your platform. You try to integrate it and look at it at the back end to say, okay, there are some fields that are not matching with what you are importing through the CSV file. It won't allow until you made the necessary correction, or you try to go and work on that record or CSV file. You need to go and polish it further. You need to go and before do some kind of cleaning to it. You clean it, and when you know that okay, everything is all right, then you try to import it again. What are the things it can do for you? You can data import wizard can insert, update, and upsert. Insert a record, that means it can import a record into your platform. It can data import wizard can as well update an existing record. Then at a time, it can do both ways. Upsert simply means it can update a record at the same time insert that record. Update a record simply means you are importing a record now, and data import wizard will know that, oh, there is possibility of duplication. It won't duplicate it, it will just update an existing record. And at the same time, there is a new record you are importing for the first time into it, we insert it for you. That's what they mean by that upsert. Bulk import, update, export, upsert, add, delete. You can see so many things now that you can do with data loader. You can use data import wizard to delete record. It doesn't delete. It doesn't delete record. But data loader can do all that. It's all encompassing, like boarding, like a bulk import, update, export, upsert, add, delete, and extract. Then export or import data format. Salesforce support, and I said the following 5 format. Take notes of this. Majorly, most of the files that come into Salesforce are being imported into Salesforce required to be in what? CSV format. That is comma separated value. Expected file can be CSV. The file you are importing now, all of the file you are importing must be in CSV file, in a CSV format. That is when you are importing. To import them into Salesforce platform. Anything outside that, it doesn't support it. You will not be able to import it into the platform. Then exported file can be CSV, CLS, and CLSX. That means when you are exporting, it can be in form of CSV, it can be in form of SLS, it can be in form of SLSS. Then you have consideration before using data import wizard. Below are some of the factors to consider before using data import wizard. The number one thing you need to know is that available objects. Allow accounts, contact, lead solutions, leads, solutions, campaign members, all those campaign members. The campaign member simply means the lead coming from your campaign, or contact. We already explained that. Custom object to be imported into Salesforce manually. Then, manually simply means you cannot schedule it, you cannot automate it. You must do it right at the spot. Action. New record can be imported, existing record can be updated, optionally both at the same time. Already explained that. Record limit when you are using data import wizard It can load up to 50,000 records. Source file must be what? CSV format. Job limits. Only one import job can be done at a time. It can't do import 2 or 3 records at a time. No, it can only import 1 record at a time for you. After it's done with that one, you can try to use it for another import job. It can load up to 50,000 records, and it must be in form of CSV file. That is for what? Data import wizard. Why we have data loader can be used to add, can you see now? Update, delete, export record. Data loader is a client application. That means it's not an application of Salesforce. That means before you can use data loader, you must download it on your laptop. You must download it on your laptop, which I will guide you through when we get to the playground, how you will download it. It must be downloaded on your desktop. Directly from the data management sidebar, you do all that. Then UI or command line interface. Data loader can be specified from the user's interface or command line interface, as a window only. If you are using window, you use command line for that one interface. But for MacBook, it's not allowed that way. It's always very difficult for even to download it on the MacBook. So these are the things you can do with data loader. You can use it to add, update, delete, offset, export, and all the rest. Considerations before using data loader. The following should be considered when planning to use data loader for an operation, like the record limits used for the bulk imports. You can use it to update, deletion, export of data. You can use it to hard delete. You can even use it to delete all. But you can use data loader, data import wizard to delete. You can use it to delete objects. You can use it to export. You can only use data import wizard to import into Salesforce platform. Why data import wizard can only deal with 50,000, it has a limit. It can of 50,000 record, but data loader can do up to 5 million records at a time. It can load up to 5 million records. The trigger works flow. When you're using a data loader, a trigger workflow. Workflow will fire when any inserted or updated record that meet the workflow rule criteria. Let's say you are importing a kind of lead into Salesforce platform. If there is a setup rule, you already workflow rule that you set up on your platform. I will demonstrate workflow rule. Don't worry when we get to automation. You already have in your platform and you're trying to import the lead into your platform. If that lead that you are importing for the first time meets the criteria that is being set on your Salesforce platform, it's going to trigger, it's going to fire, it's going to obey it and follow that criteria to work. Then you can use it to add delete. When you use add delete, simply means that record will not go to recycling bin, will override the recycle bin. It won't allow the record you use data loader. If you use data loader to do add delete, normally before I sell, if you delete any record on Salesforce platform, it's going to be on recycle bin for like 15 days before it will finally add delete. But when you are using a data loader to add delete, it will delete the record right away. It will override that process of going to recycling bin for 15 days. In case if you are using add delete, take note, not just ordinary delete, I mean add delete. Then the use bulk API setting must be enabled after installing the data loader. So when you enable the bulk API, definitely after installing it, then that will make it possible. Offset. I said it earlier that offset does 2 things: update and insert. That is the 2 words they use to make the word offset. At the same time, you can export all. That means all the record you have on your Salesforce platform, you can export it using data loader. Export everything. And it will also, when you say export all, it will not only export the existing record, though, all the record you've deleted that are still in the recycle bin, it will capture everything and move it. So it's one of technical questions they can ask, that when what is the meaning of export all? What can export all this thing? So when it has to do with export all, it will include the record in the recycle bin. All will be exported. You can use it to automate operation. When you automate operation, it's only available in Windows. Maybe when you those of us that are using Windows will be able to use data loader to automate. It use a command line interface. I use MacBook Pro, so I've never for any one time have that possibility of being able to schedule data loading activities. I can schedule it. The command line schedule simply means you can say, okay, my data loader, I want you to load this data or export this data when by weekend, let's say Saturday and Sunday. If it's going to be a very long process, if you're dealing with a very big data, you can program it, you can schedule it, and that's what it means by using what? Command line interface. Allow the automation of loading process by setting up configuration, sources, actions, and mapping from a command line. You can do all those things. Batch operation, data loader command line interface useful for batch operation source as what? Nightly import. You can see now, nightly import the command line load. You can use it to say, okay, I want you to load this data at night. Import the data at night so that there be no any disruption when we are still working or during our business hour. If most of the data loading activities happen after the business hour, you can program it like that, then it's going to do it automatically. File format. Import export is done via CSV files, which is its role is in a CSV file format, creating a record where each column mapped to a field. The column that you have on your CSV file must be mapped with a field on your Salesforce platform. You have them as a column on your CSV file, but when they land on Salesforce platform, it becomes what we can refer to as fields. So your columns that you have, all those headers that you have on your CSV files, they happen to be what? When it's on CSV file, you refer to them as column. But when they get into your Salesforce platform, they will transform to become fields. Take note of that. Those simple things will guide against you making any mistake when you are importing. You just know that what you are trying to ensure is that your columns headers, what make the headers of your column, maybe the date, first name, last name, must are the thing that synchronize to become your fields. And when you're on Salesforce platform, you refer to those things as your the first name is a field, last name is a field, date is a field, all those stuff like that. That does it.
Right, that's a wrap up for today's video. I hope you have picked up some valuable insights and actionable tips in Salesforce ecosystem. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give this video a big thumb up. If you found it helpful, I'm Asikola Oshirikan and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.